Okay, so now we're going to dive into some other options that we have with CSS. The first is the class selector option. So a class selector is something that I can create and then specifically assign that class to a specific object within my HTML page. So in this example, I'm going to go ahead and build this in my external style sheet that we had set up in our last example. So if you guys look on page 91 of your book, it gives you some good rules for naming your classes. And in this example, my objective is going to be, I want to write a class that will make my my heading yellow, and then I want to make a class that will make my heading green. So I can randomly assign those to various headings within my HTML document. So I'm going to just go ahead and name the class heading red, or excuse me, yellow, and then have my little brackets for my rules to go in there. So whenever I want to create a class, I just have to start it with a period and then go ahead and name the class that I want. And you don't want to use spaces in those either. Okay, so if I want my heading yellow to mean that the text is going to be yellow for that heading, then I can just say color yellow. And then when I save this, nothing's going to happen over in my HTML document because I have to actually call that class heading yellow that I created. I have to call that from my HTML document. So to do that, I have to use the class attribute. So I'll just put my space after my element and say class equals, and then I have to identify the exact name of that class, which I called heading yellow. And you do not want to use the period in there. That period is just to identify that that is a class selector to the CSS. So I'm going to go ahead and put my class heading yellow. So what's going to happen is my HTML h1 in this circumstance is going to call the class called heading yellow, and when I save this and refresh my browser, my text is turning yellow because I called it that. Now I can subsequently do that same thing with another class identifier. So say for instance I want to make a heading green, then I can do that same thing and be able to assign that class to a specific element. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and use my class attribute and say, oh, I want to use the selectors that you have set up in the class called heading green, and that's going to make my heading green. Okay, so one of the nice things is anytime I've assigned this class, now I can manipulate multiple things by just assigning this one class by simply adding additional rules in the class that I called heading green. So if I wanted to change the background color to that whatever I assign heading green, then I can also do that. So recall that you can separate multiple declarations by using that semicolon. And if I want my background color to be blue, then I'm all set. So all I have to do is save and refresh, and now I've assigned that. So anywhere I go and assign that heading green, it's going to go ahead and pick up those multiple properties that I have set up in that CSS external style sheet. So if you'll notice that I changed this class to heading green and refresh, and that will go ahead and apply that to that as well. So classes are something that you can write. They should be descriptive for particular objects, and as I said, that example in the book on page 91 gives you some good examples for naming classes.